Yeah, this here is Backwoods Billy coming to you from the beautiful Delmarva Eastern Shore, where we've had rain for 3 weeks in a row, and we went from the wintertime of being 90s and 80s at points to a quick spring of what, 90-some degrees, and then we went down to the 50s and 40s, and today we reached the 70s, but this is a clearing point. It's been raining off and on. Prior to that, we've had torrential downpours. This is a Belgian style glass, in essence, large tall glass, if you will. Shock top, Honeycrisp apple wheat. Anybody that knows about a Belgian style, it has the wheat in it. Anyway, this is a Belgian style wheat ale brewed with cider. It'll be a lot easier if the old man gets his
old man glasses on.
Nice style wheat ale brewed with cider and spices with natural Honeycrisp apple flavor and other natural flavor. 5.2% alcohol by volume, 1 pint or 16 ounces for this. Shock top Honeycrisp apple. Now, 5.2% alcohol by volume. I've had a couple of these, and when I originally got this, I got it in bottles. And as my wife will tell you, I bought a 6-pack of it, and the first one I didn't really like. But it wasn't like where I had to pour it out or it was terrible. The situation when it was, when you see the apples on here, they look red. When you taste it, the color of the can's green. It tastes like the Granny Smith apple, I believe it's called, but bitter. And I wasn't that big of a fan of it at first, but then when I drank the second one, I actually liked it. So since then, I've been buying the cans. You can get the Belgian, which I happen to like from the Belgian style wheat, the pretzel beer, the lemon beer, the cranberry. I've not had the chocolate yet. The lemon beer, which is also good, and I also get Lingals as well in lemon. And it's wheat beer, same thing. These are like 3 for 3, 5 for 5, depending where you buy them. So that's a good deal for 16 ounces. The good thing about an aluminum container is, as I said before, there is no way any light gets in here or oxygen, so it's actually better than any bottle. And anybody that buys a bottle, if there's a problem with it, you should really contact your supplier. Which one is probably a better position? This one. Because they will actually get you a new beer or your money back. Anyway, here's your pour right out of the can, wide mouth can. Now, if I want more head, I just elevate it. Now, since this has wheat, it should have a better head retention. Again, with artificial flavors, you tend to lose some of that. So, now the color of this is cloudy, as a Belgian beer should be. A lot of emphasis to it. See the little bubbles on the glass coming up, very, very fast. The head poured about a finger high, and it dissipates fast. So again, it should have a better retention, but it doesn't due to the fact of some of the artificial flavors. It smells like apple, cinnamon, kind of pepper. What do you call it? What's it called?
Coriander.
Coriander. I won't say coriander. Like coriander. And a little bit floral. A little bit fruity. And some of the stuff is the yeast as well. Belgian style yeast tends to do that. Very fruity. Now with this you taste the honey and apple. And then it has a bitter afterbite with the apple. Now part of that is the apple, but you can get some fruit flavors, even honey flavors with different types of hops if you use them correctly. Let me give you that type of flavor profile. But anyway, this is very good. It's a Backwoods Billy, 2 thumbs up, 5.2% alcohol by volume. Not a bad sessionable beer, and it's not a bad price. And it says, you know, their logo is Live Life Unfiltered. It's unfiltered beer, which, by the way, beer used to be a meal in a glass. This is something that'll actually help clean your system out. It's unfiltered. I mean, you know that'll clean your stuff. It's sort of like eating yogurt. Probiotics. Anyway, this right here is Food Line, which is a local food store. Walmart has a version of these. Snyder's has Roll Gold.
Honey wheat.
It's a honey wheat pretzel braids, and they're not bad. What do they run? Like $1 or something? $2?
$2.99.
$2. I've even had the dollar store's version, penny sticks. Not as good as these. In my mind, these are actually the best tasting pretzels for the honey style.
You're addicting. I don't normally like pretzels, but those I like.
I like them a lot. It's not a bad price for them. Pretzels goes with beer a lot of times when you get beer. It's a good bar food. It's a good food if you're sitting around with friends, or you just wanting to munch when you don't want maybe necessarily cheeses or something like that. Now this beer would obviously go very well with this. It's sweet with a tart bite. Not a very heavy beer. I mean, I would say the color of this is more like a cloudy iced tea. Like a green tea would probably be the better. Not so much iced tea, green tea, like the health tea you get, like that. That's what I would say on that. So it's not.
Or ginseng.
Yeah, like I sometimes think the ginseng tea. It's more like the ginseng tea that the color of it. So I say green tea. Anyway, it's paired well with roast chicken, grilled chicken, barbecue chicken. You could get away. I wouldn't say with the other Belgians. You get away with seafood with that, the cheeses. With this, it would go very well with the pretzels, the cheeses, grilled vegetables, the chicken. You could probably do spare ribs, something like that. It's a little light for that, but you could get away with it. In my opinion, it's a very good beer. Now the mouthfeel on this is going to be on the medium side, in the middle. So that's that part in there. If you're getting bit up there a little bit. But typically, this style of beer is going to have a little better head retention.
I could actually smell the apple all the way over here.
Yeah, it is crisp. So when you now the other beer that I made, I did a review on it, just to show you about home brewing. It was a caramel apple eruption, and what it was is just if you imagine biting into a caramel apple, which is a very sweet tasting apple, and it had not only brandy but an apple whiskey in it, and the chips were soaked. And the wood chips, you just go to the things you buy for a barbecue chip, and you have to bake them. You buy at Home Depot or Lowe's. You get them different toastinesses in the oven, soak them in the alcohol, and you stick them in a muslin bag or what have you, and throw them in the with the beer. It'll impart the flavor if it was aged in oak barrels to the beer. So that's what I did, and I really like that beer. That was a very simple one to do, and I made it a little more carbonated, like what's it called, the Big Reef by Third Wave, and I like the apple Red Stepchild that Tall Tales had, which is local breweries. I kind of did a play of that, but went more for a caramel apple. And to me, when I saw the red apples, I thought that, so that was my original opinion with this. But very good beer. I give it 2 thumbs up. The pretzels for $2, give 2 thumbs up. The dollar store, to me, not as good as like average. For the price, is cheap, but this is a better deal. I was not impressed with Roll Gold at all, especially for the price differential. I have not had Utz yet. It's not so much. I wasn't impressed. I actually like these. And my next line would be the Walmart's house version. So we buy a lot of gourmet snacks, but sometimes, when in the food line, there's always not a lot of the closest grocery stores. There's not always a lot of big selection, so a lot of their branded stuff, and they're really good. I'm glad I tried them. That's it for this review. If you, I will post, if you want, a link to the other video on here, which is longer. I don't know if you put it up there yet. It has the beer reviews. I have a couple versions, short version, mid version. The long version is the recipe from the Belgian wheat citrus, which is typical how to make that. And then the last we did was the Old Tankard, a recipe how to brew that. So it's ESB, extra special bitter, and it would be geared towards fullers because of the premium, or if you're in England, they call them a boys to a man. So there's like a extra special bitter, low alcohols. The lower boys, the higher up you go in your bittering category. Premium is the highest alcohol content to it. And that one won a lot of awards. And I really think Old Tankard is online with Fuller's, and a big price differential there, much cheaper. This is, to me, an economical beer. It's a craft beer. It's brewed properly. It's owned by AB InBev. Don't let that fool you. These companies support the little beer shows you go to. This with the World Cup. It wouldn't be for companies like AB InBev. Well, Miller's Coors now $1, but if those companies that put money into this stuff, it wouldn't be there. And by the way, Blue Moon, which is Miller Coors' version of the Belgian style, is actually an exact duplicate when it was revived from the person that did that. I won't call his name, Belgian. It's exact duplicate of that recipe. And if you're going to judge it from anybody that ever went and got a professional judging criteria or certificate, in essence, the shock top would be better because it has more of the beer flavor to it. So it's not like you're just tasting the spices. But And if you like the spices better, do that. Don't let somebody tell you you should like something.
Plus, they got the super cool car.
She likes the cool, the little orange Volkswagen, which we haven't seen that much down here, and we saw it a lot in Annapolis because they had a big presence in Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Anne Arundel County, the breweries, and they were always at a couple liquor stores around us. And the one which looked like an old grocery store and gas station to get the pumps and all,
It's fair part.
it was Savannah Park, and they always had the car. They were doing specials, little store. And an old pickup truck parked outside, an old wagon, and that store had been there forever and ever and ever. And that little store probably full of people involved in the business it did. But anyway, Backwoods Billy, 2 thumbs up. Sorry for a little bit long review on this. I would recommend it for $1 a beer. In my opinion, it's economical. By the way, the recipe I put up online, I'll have to put the price in there. Okay, in essence, you can make between 5 to 6.5 gallons, which is approximately a little over 4 cases to get 6.5, 5 cases of beer. And in essence, it's going to cost you like under $10 a case. So you can buy them from $25 to probably at the most $40 for all the ingredients to do it. I'm counting if you buy your freaking water. I didn't put that in there, but you need to understand the pH. You need to add Jimson to lower it, or a Burton salts if you're using tap water or spring water. That would kind of give it the closest thing to the water. Water is a big deal when you brew beer. Backwoods Billy, 2 thumbs up.